Hi, everybody. My name is Jason Anthony, and I am the founder and CEO of Sabius, the payroll in your pocket application for freelancers to put their tax obligations on autopilot. Our economy has changed. Freelancers and independent workers will soon be the new majority, and their struggles with managing their tax obligations are real, with roughly $100 billion going unpaid to the IRS each year. Failure to pay taxes or paying them incorrectly results in frustrating and costly financial problems. Sabius makes it simple for freelancers and independent workers to automate their estimated tax obligations to the IRS, saving them time and money. We help the individual chip away at their tax obligations instead of making big lump sum quarterly payments without having to switch banks or the way that they work. Our business model focuses on channel distribution through B2B clients in the CPA and accounting industry. More specifically, seeking product market fit with CPAs and accountants that are solely working with freelancers, creatives, and independent workers. Our B2C marketing strategy consists of pinpointed digital outreach to the specific segments of our target audience, as well as traditional search engine optimization efforts as a user acquisition channel. In terms of our revenue model, our enterprise subscription fees vary based on the projected number of users. Our direct-to-consumer fee is a flat monthly subscription, which is also a tax write-off for the user. Our current traction consists of our first sold pilot agreement with the CPA firm and a partnership with a gig work platform that supports Latinx, Black, and female freelancers. We also have several similar agreements in place with CPA firms that are now moving into the contract phase. Our team has a strong mix of banking and startup experience. All three of us have felt what it's like to be a full-time freelancer, as well as the burden of juggling the complex financial responsibilities that are associated with it. I personally have over 20 years experience as a freelancer and a decade of professional sales and digital marketing experience as an independent contractor. We're currently launching our B2B pilot and B2C consumer products for product market fit and traction. In the near future, we're looking to expand into the larger commercial space and banking sector. To get there, we're looking to raise a seed round to increase our sales and revenue and enhance our product and engineering team. Thank you very much for your time and consideration, and I look forward to continuing the conversation and answering any questions.
12 seconds to spare. Excellent.
Thank you.
Great job, Jason. Yeah, Mark.
Thanks.
Hey, Garth, start this time. Come on.
Or Garth, sorry.
Okay, I'll go first. Yeah, Jason, good job with the time constraints. One question I had: have you don't have any? Are you testing the product? You don't have anyone currently using the product right now. Is that true?
We closed out our final beta round of testing to prepare for the final iteration, which is our launch here. So we're just wrapping up the loose ends on that development sprint, so we can get our pilot launched out there.
And does it have to coexist with a banking app, or is it?
No, we're bank agnostic, which is nice. So the user, the freelancer, can come from over 10,000 different financial institutions in the United States.
Okay, got it. And maybe a question just about, going back to what I'm looking at, your idea actually last. And first is like, who are we talking about here, you guys? And then what is the market, that you want to capture? Maybe a tiny bit more detail about this is the target. I know there's going to be a whole parcel of gig economy workers out there, but just what we want to capture 0.5% of this localized region, or whatever, maybe just a number to kind of circulate in the back of your head.
But 16 of the 59 million.
Got it.
Would be the full-time freelancer. Yeah.
Okay. I think that's all I've got. Again, good job getting I feel like the requisite information out in that very tiny, it's just like things to expand upon in the 6 minute would be maybe a tiny bit more about you and your team's background, like why, okay, you've been a freelancer, but from the other end, it's like from running a company, putting a company together, it's like, okay, you would be an experienced user of your own app, but to what degree should we entrust 750 grand with you to make this a reality?
Thank you. Appreciate that.
Yep. Yeah, just to add to some of that, whether you're in the 3-minute format or the 6-minute format, if you have an extra 12 seconds, I definitely would hit a little bit more on the product, like kind of where it's at. The fact that you've had some beta users, and that's just 1 or 2 sentences of like, here's where we are, here's where we've gotten with our team and the bootstrapped approach. In the 3-minute, if you have 3 minutes and 12 seconds in the 6-minute pitch, I would go a little bit deeper there. If you could actually pinpoint whether or not there is an integration with online banking or with data, I think I picked up on some of that, but just being really like precise on here's what we built. Like we built a piece of tech that quote unquote ingests or whatever, like takes in data this way or that way. So that's on the product side. I think you could put a little bit more meat on the bone in the 6-minute version there. I do agree with Garth, like a little bit more from the team side as well, which isn't hard to achieve. But I think being precise is i.e. your experience as a contractor or your experience as an entrepreneur. It just gives people just a better connection to the narrative and the story and the team, and that's a big part of this. And then I think, since you're precise in your ask, like we're going to raise 750 to $1 million or whatever the ask was, like, in the 6-minute version, I think it's entirely possible to flash a nice, clean, like uses of capital. Like, here's what you're going to use the money to do, and here's where it's going to take us. Like oftentimes that's one of the easiest things for entrepreneurs to talk about. And they sometimes, I don't know, for some reason, those parts of the pitch sometimes fall out. So it's like, think about that. If we're just casually chatting as startup entrepreneurs, like you're the CEO of a startup, I'm the CEO. Like, hey, what are you doing here? I'm like, oh, I'm trying to raise $1 million and need to hire 4 product developers and an art director and a whatever. And you're like, oh, whoa, so it just immediately kind of brings the audience in on the ask and where that capital is going. But otherwise, like, I thought you did a great job. I really like the look and feel. It's sometimes underemphasized, but the clarity that your visuals brought, I think, helps kind of keep the viewer or the panelist or whoever's reading your stuff kind of in a calm mode. Like a lot of times they get too much content. I think it needs to be said that like clean design and less is more on content is always going to, I think, be better. So you did a really good job on that. Anyone who's watching this, I think, whether or not you agree with the look and feel in terms of the layout, like I thought it was great. I actually think it looks good. It also has a little bit of a Google vibe, the way you chose the colors, which I think might also kind of make you guys seem a little bit more interesting and mature than not. But great work on the arts and crafts, as we call them sometimes. I think you did a good job there. So good example of the right level and weighting of content in a 5, 6, 7-minute pitch.
Thanks, Mark.
Yeah.
Thanks for the feedback.
Yeah.
Thanks, Garth.
That's all I have.
Awesome. Garth, do you have any closing thoughts?
No. It's again, thank Mark for pointing out some things that I think that was my impression too, but I just didn't think to say anything about it. I did. I like the visuals.
Awesome. Well, thank you guys. Thank you, Jason.